Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, outside in the beautiful Northwoods of northern Minnesota. I'm getting my truck worked on, and so I'm at the shop, but I'm out in the yard and doing the show from there today. So anyways, do me a favor, please smash that like and chat in with where you're from. I see some fellow Minnesotans on the stream. Check out my new hat, too. I got this from Adam Johnson, the lectern guy. He sent it to me. I got it yesterday. So anyways, you can go get one of those too. You can follow Adam Johnson on X and whatever. But folks, I've got a great show for you today because the Doge cuts that we've been looking for are going to happen. Now, there's a reason they haven't happened up to this point, and I'm going to explain exactly what's going on because I had real questions on that. And so I'm sure you all do too. I got to turn the do not disturb on there. I got it on. I got a special guest joining me. We've got a huge trial coming up. Actually, 3 big trials coming up. Poland is on the stream. Kitties never die from Poland. Good to have you on the stream. Anyways, again, just please smash that like, chat, and with where you're from. I want to share this clip of President Trump first. This is phenomenal. Complete destruction of the press right before your very eyes. Check this out.
Analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me.
Check this. This is so true, folks. And the other day I was reporting it was 9 trillion. Now we're up to 14 trillion in investments coming into this country. Countries or companies either repatriating their money or foreign countries investing in American enterprise. It's wild.
He said, you got the hottest we have the hottest country in the world right now. 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive. And you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, you know, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, you know, a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got? Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up. I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China. And in many ways, I think we really helped China tremendously because, you know, they were having great difficulty because we were basically going cold turkey with China. We were doing no business because of the tariff, because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question. Go ahead. To me, that's the nastiest question.
Okay, do you know what's so amazing about this, folks? Remember the other day I talked about the poll that showed that the left was losing their own voters? I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. A journalist, Valerie Stivers, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce the last name, but this is wild. She's writing this piece for Unheard. I looked her up, okay? She is completely from the left, but listen to this. Last week, Walmart announced a plan to raise prices, setting off another round of criticism of President Trump's tariff policy. In this case, the calculus seems particularly damning. Walmart serves middle and lower income Americans who will be particularly affected by price hikes, and items imported from Mexico and Canada, such as avocados and raspberries, can be expected to cost more. Consumers may not be psyched, one Business Insider story begins, playing to the ever popular narrative that Trump's voters are already deserting him. The scorners and doomsayers, however, miss the soul of the matter and also an opportunity. Intentionally or not, tariffs appear to be making cheap imported stuff more expensive. At least that's what the consensus is among the critics. The reciprocal tariff chart may have broken the commensurate with its crudeness as an expression of economic policy, but it had a certain rough elegance in terms of identifying stuff that's too cheap and making it cost more. It has been weird to watch the resistance to this idea since stemming the flood of made-for-landfill consumer goods has long been a popular talking point for the lefties and environmentalists who oppose Trump. The article was titled Trump's War on Cheap Plastic Junk, a Boon to Localism and Thrift. So here you go, folks. You have the left. There you have a leftist author talking specifically about why Trump's tariff policies are actually good for the very things that they've long advocated for. I've said it, you guys have heard me on this show, that it's just amazing how addicted we are to cheap plastic crap from China, okay, and how we can't seem to get rid of it. Well, now, folks, I want to get into this whole thing with Doge because Trump just made a big statement today on the Doge cuts. And let me ask the question to the chat here just to see how many of you are frustrated and you're thinking, why the hell can't we get Doge cuts passed through Congress? Why don't we see these Doge cuts in the big, beautiful bill? How many of you are asking that question? How many of you are frustrated? Just yes or no in the chat. But there's actually procedural rules, and I'm going to show you this and what Trump is now doing to handle that. And this is a direct result of the pressure of the American public, of the American populace, through through social media platforms like X or Facebook or all these other. So I see a bunch of you saying, yeah, yes, I am. So check this out. Okay, so from Stephen Miller. Folks, I trust Stephen Miller more than the mainstream media or the establishment Republicans any day of the week. He said Doge cuts are discretionary spending, e.g. the federal bureaucracy. Under Senate budget rules, you cannot cut discretionary spending, only mandatory in a reconciliation bill. So Doge cuts would have to be done through what is known as rescissions package, an appropriations bill. The big, beautiful bill is not an annual budget bill and does not fund the departments of government. It does not finance our agencies or federal programs. Instead, it includes the single largest welfare reform in American history, along with the largest tax cut and reform in American history, the most aggressive energy exploration in American history, and the strongest border bill in American history, all while reducing the deficit. Okay, I'm going to give you another couple here. Okay, so Speaker Mike Johnson, Stephen Miller reposted this. And remember, all of those of you who are down on Mike Johnson, remember how closely he is working with President Trump. So just because you're not seeing what you want doesn't mean that what you want isn't happening behind the scenes. So Speaker Mike Johnson had said, Elon Musk and the entire Doge team have done incredible work for exposing waste, fraud, and abuse across the federal government. From the insanity of USAID spending to finding over 12 million people on Social Security who were over 120 years old. The House is eager and ready to act on Doge's findings so we can deliver even more cuts to big government that President Trump wants and the American people demand. We will do it in two ways. When the White House sends its rescissions package to the House, we will act quickly by passing legislation to codify the cuts. The House will use the appropriations process to swiftly implement President Trump's 2026 budget. So the big, beautiful bill, okay, is going to happen. I'd say, and I already see the comments, Johnson is useless. Okay, if Johnson is useless, why is he working with Trump? Again, I mean, it's things are not always what we think they are or what they seem. Okay. In the meantime, we have been working around the clock as we prepared for those processes. Okay. The House made sure to build on Doge's success with one big, beautiful bill. Stephen Miller has made an important point about the two efforts. Doge found savings on discretionary spending, while our big beautiful bill secured over 1.6 trillion in savings for mandatory spending. So this is big. This is why they're running around saying that Trump is going to cut Medicaid, Trump's going to cut this, Trump. No, all they're doing is making it more efficient. I thought that's what we wanted, was more government efficiency. Don't you all want the government to be more efficient? So why is everybody worried about cuts to Social Security or Medicaid or whatever if it's getting people off the program who shouldn't be on there in the first place? And then the press is running around calling that a cut and everybody's freaking out. Now, it gets even better, folks. Check this out. Well, here, let me go to this one, and then I'm going to come back to Stephen Miller. So, breaking, the White House will be sending Doge cut requests to Congress next week among online pressure campaign per Politico. That's the power of we the people here on X. President Trump listens to us. Take them up quickly, Speaker Johnson. So this is a direct result, folks, because the Republican establishment has been getting eviscerated on X. One of the great things about X as a platform is you can communicate, you can tag all these people in it, and they see those. Their staffers see them, and they count all those up. And the reality is they're seeing that the American people are pissed off about the Doge cuts. So Trump has sent this to Mike Johnson and said, make this a priority. So here, the next one from Stephen Miller. I see some self-described libertarians siding with lefty bureaucrats at CBO who claim the big, beautiful bill will explode the debt. This is based entirely on CBO claiming that extending the current tax rates, not raising them. Again, folks, so the Congressional Budget Office is claiming that extending the current tax rates, not raising them, will cost, quote, cost the government $4 trillion in revenue. Since when have libertarians argued that not raising taxes costs the government money? Private money yet to be earned does not belong to the government. This is a Democrat collectivist argument, and I'm shocked to see libertarians deploying it. Under this ludicrous theory, one could raise taxes to 90% on everyone and declare the deficit solved. Big, beautiful bill cuts taxes, cuts spending, reforms welfare, and ends mass migration. On the last point, anyone serious about limited government and improving America's financial health would understand that ending mass migration is the prerequisite for every other problem we wish to solve. So this is what's going on right now. Trump is sending this up. We are going to see the cuts. They're going to come in a different fashion because they can't be in the big, beautiful bill according to the rules that are established. Is this making sense to everybody now? Because I was confused when I first saw it, and now we know that action is taking place. I'm so excited about this, folks. I want to bring in, I've got to bring in something here, folks. And then I got a special guest to bring in the show. Oh, wait, why did this go? Here we go. I'm going to reset this. Okay. Okay, now check this out. The most important trial ever, folks. The trial of the century. Listen to what the liberal media in Colorado has to say about it. And I want to bring in my guest, Mike Lindell, to watch this with me. Mike, you'd sent this over. This is absolutely wild, folks. You have got to see this. There's three things taking place out in Colorado, actually. We've got this case. We've got Tina Peters still out there, and we've got a new push there with Tina Peters. I think that comes up Friday. They have a chance to file for their appeal and make that stronger. There's another thing that was filed out there by Ash and Hawley. I've had them on the show before. Another big election. Folks, there's so much going on. Colorado has become the epicenter of the
Absolutely.
Let's
Absolutely.
watch.
My pillow and I myself, I've been here for a week, everybody, and it's dealing with my lawyers. I see the federal courthouse right outside my room here, and we go this Monday, June 2nd. We started, I think it's about a 2-week trial, and this is the tip of the spear, everybody. Remember, My Pillow and myself were the only ones of all the ones that were sued back then for lawfare that said, you know what, we're not making deals. We're going all the way to jury trial. So here we are. And you're right, there's a big thing coming up in Arapahoe County. There's a lot of stuff going on here in Colorado, everybody. But once again, as you'll see in this clip, the media, we need the media to cover stuff. This is ridiculous.
This is wild. Okay, you guys are going to love this clip. I mean, you're going to love it and hate it all at the same time. You can laugh with us at it because this is wild. Oh, I get an ad. Unbelievable.
Hold it. My pillow, everybody.
MyPillow.com. Use promo code Lumberjack.
MyPillow.com.
The baby needs a pillow, my friend.
That's right.
All right, we'll bring it back up here.
The most important trial ever begins in Denver next week. If that sounds like a bit of an exaggeration or perhaps a completely wackadoodle claim, you should know that it's coming from my pillow guy and election denier Mike Lindell. Now, in fairness to Lindell, I am sure that it is the most important trial ever to him because he is the one who is going to be on trial, accused of defamation for saying that Denver-based Dominion voting systems and one particular Coloradan rigged the 2020 election against Donald Trump. Truth is an absolute defense against defamation. So if Lindell can come to court and prove that he was telling the truth about election rigging, he's in the clear. I actually think that this upcoming trial deserves more attention than it's getting, because this is the chance for election deniers to provide their proof of the alleged conspiracy, the one that the most powerful man in the world, President of the United States, will not stop talking about even now that he's back in the White House. But I think I know why this upcoming trial in Denver is largely being ignored. Let's start with the media. It seems like a lot of national journalists are just tired of covering Trump's election rigging lies. They're now 5 years old. I also believe that a number of Colorado's local journalists are skittish about covering political extremism. It draws accusations of bias and threats of violence. And if we're being totally honest, it's a lot more complicated to cover than much of what.
There's the threats of violence again. They always go to that routine.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Ends up on the evening news. Now let's talk about the general public. I think a lot of Democrats are hesitant to talk about Mike Lindell's election rigging claims because they don't want to give fuel to theories that erode faith in our elections. I think a lot of Republicans are hesitant to talk about this too, because while you see a bunch of Republicans nod along in agreement with Trump's election rigging claims, when people have to explain exactly how the elections are rigged, that's when folks start to sound goofy. Like the swirl of claims that Dominion is rigging the vote with help from Antifa or Venezuela or George Soros. The people pushing those theories for years have always said they want their day in court. Well, they're going to get it in Denver starting next week.
And I think that's the key to that whole thing. Next week in Denver, they're going to get it. I will plug MyPillow here really quickly. MyPillow.com/lumberjack, folks. The biggest savings on the best sleep products available. Still $49.98, any color, any size on the Giza sheets. And then, Mike, I'm going to bring you back in. And,
and free. And you guys, you get a free commemorative pillow. We're doing this for that promo code Lumberjack, you guys, because we're keeping the $49.98 Giza Dream Sheets, no matter what size, get as many as you want. And by the way, if you go to mypillow.com/lumberjack, you get, and you buy $100 or more, I'm going to match with $100 in digital gifts. Plus, you're going to get a free MyPillow 2.0 travel pillow. And the reason is we need to raise money. We have to win this case, everybody. This is the tip of the spear. And I'm going to tell you, Neil, you listen to that clown. That guy, that reporter, I've been dealing with him for 4 years, but you got to say it, everybody, he is right about one thing. The media is avoiding this, and they're trying to avoid it. You know why? Because they don't want to get the word out. I told my lawyers, they go, we just want to win. I go, you know what? No, this is bigger than winning or losing here. The whole world needs to see we're the only one. MyPillow's the only company that was sued, everybody. They went after my company, and we're at jury trial. My company did nothing. MyPillow did nothing. This is the same guy that got us so I couldn't go on Newsmax anymore to talk about hurricane victims. To talk about the hurricane victims we help, or the flood victims and the fire victims of California. But MyPillow has a 10% tithe. We just give. When we used to go on these outlets before they did this and talk about this, it would lift sales and help my employees. We didn't do it. That's not why we did it, because we've even done it now that they've suppressed it. But that's who we are. And I'm going to read something, Neil. This is what I'm going to read in court, everybody. When they say, Mike, what do you know about, cyber stuff or whatever, who do you think you are? Some pillow guy being, an expert. You guys, here's what I'm going to say. You know what? I'm a mathematician. I know math. I know deviations. That's what I know. November and December of 2020, I dove into the deviations and big ones, 4,000 some people that voted in this state that don't live there, things like that. And I go, wow, this had to be done with machines. So who did I get? You ready? I don't know. Do you have a minute for me to read this? This will be the first time this read publicly.
Totally. Yeah. Go read it.
These are all the people that either donated their time or I reached out to because they were the biggest experts in the world. Some of they're not, and it doesn't matter what party they're in, everybody. Here it is. I'm going to read them. Colonel Sean Smith, Colonel Phil Waldron, Dr. Doug Frank, Dr. Walter Doherty, Colonel Conrad Reynolds, Will Huff, Kevin Montclair, Senator Patrick Colbeck, Clay Perry, Harry Hari, Rick Weibel, Jeff Lindbergh, Draza Smith, Jeff O'Donnell, Garland Favorito, Russ Ramsden, Mark Cook, Doug Logan, Gustavo Delfino, Ben Cotton, Susan Greenhall, i.e. cyber experts on China. This was the specialty that they had. Todd Sanders, Conan, Dennis Montgomery, Dr. Navid, can't say the last name, Rick DeMilo, Philip Stark, Douglas Jones, Jim March, Jacob Stofford, Duncan Buell, Andrew Appel, Eddie Perez, Alexander Schatzman, Susan Greenhall, Jim Penrose, Curtis Clark, Clint Curtis, Kevin Skoglund, and Tom Scott. And these are, there's more here too. Jake Braun, Jan Curve, General Thomas McKinley, or McInerney, General Thomas McInerney, Kirk Wiebe, and Dennis Montgomery, former CIA. You guys, this is, they're going to, because this is the one of the things they're going to hammer you with. Well, what do you know about? Well, if I don't know something, if I'm going to I'm watching the federal courthouse get worked on the roof there. You think I'm going to go on a roof? I'm scared of heights. If I need my roof, then I hire roofers. Right? Isn't that what people do? If you want to, and did I skip? I don't think I skip, right? That's quite a list. That's quite a list. And as we speak, everybody, you heard that reporter, election deniers, and then prove this. You guys, we're going to put, we've had it before, and I'm going to put it back up. The Mesa County image from Tina Peters from Colorado. I'm going to put that up. I'm going to put up, this just happened 2 weeks ago in Arapahoe County here in Colorado. Did you know about this, Neil?
Tell me this one, because I've got
Arapahoe County, everybody, in Arapahoe County, in the 2020 election. Remember, everybody, we can get the cast vote records and we get these, and it'll show whether there's computer manipulation or not. Well, I'll have to come back on your show. Maybe I will show that tomorrow. These lines are identical. So when Democrats voted and Republicans voted, they're all the same, the whole lines. And it should be all completely random. That's how votes come in. Well, Neil, we caught them. They're caught because you know what they did? That person back then, like Tina Peters, whatever, she kept a copy she put of a cast vote of these records, and it was actually posted in there on the I think the website for they missed it for the state of Colorado, or that county at least. So my team, or one of the teams, I won't even name his name so he doesn't get attacked. They went back and they go, wow, here we found another one. But guess what? They tried to cover their tracks. They left them both there. So the second copy shows it completely randomized. Now we not only did this, but they tried to cover up the biggest crime in history.
Really?
This is 2 weeks ago, everybody. I mean, Colorado, these are like gifts from God, the things that are happening right now. No, it's really, you can't make this up. And by the way, everybody, remember, My Pillow got sued. And this is what I'm very, and I was so upset when this happened. You've all seen the tape, everybody, where I was very upset with the attorneys and They called my pillows lumpy, and they went
Lumpy,
after
yeah,
my
I remember that.
employees.
It's my favorite
And,
clip of you of all time.
Yeah,
So-
but everybody, what happened in this particular case, this involves a guy named Eric Coomer that worked with Dominion or was a executive there, and I didn't know who he is. I had no idea. All of a sudden, in April of 21, he makes a deal with Newsmax and Dominion, and being head of, or one of the executives makes a deal with Newsmax. Well, here's what comes out of that. All of a sudden, from that point on, Neil, I can't go on and talk about my pillow like we hire addicts, ex-addicts, and to give them second chances. We hire veterans. We help the country in everywhere we can. I have not been able to go on since the day they made that dirty deal as part of their little settlement. Now, everyone can say, well, was it in writing? No, it wasn't in writing. I'm sure they said it was like this. All I know is I know the owner there, and he said, I'm sorry, Mike, you can never come on even to talk about your My Pillows and all the great things My Pillow does. You guys, it might not seem a lot to people out there going, oh, big deal, you can still run your commercials. Let me tell you the difference. We ran the numbers, The prior 3 months to them doing that to My Pillow, we took in $3 million with promo code Newsmax. The 3 months after, about 270,000. Now, if you extrapolate that out, the last 4.5 years that we lost that income, it's over $22 million that My Pillow. This goes right along with everybody. Why? Because they're accusing me. I called him a blocker. I put him in the same bucket with Brad Rassenberger and Robin Boss because I couldn't understand back then. Why would you attack My Pillow? Why would you go after me? What did I ever do to you, Eric Coomer? You just kept attacking me. You guys, for me, I have one thing. What's the one thing every day I wake up? We've got to get to paper ballots, hand counted, and get rid of these computers. I don't care what brand they are. The biggest brand is the old ES&S, the hometown boys out of Omaha, Nebraska. And the biggest thing is, we get in this courtroom. What I'm going to say is, if somebody was accusing pillow companies of having rocks and knives in their pillows, what would I do? I'd pass out the pillows and say, not with my pillow. Look inside. It's beautiful, patented pill. And these companies didn't do that. They shut it down. Another example I want to tell you guys, if you have a bank account and your bank account and you get your balance, you look up your balance and you know darn well that you're short, I don't know, a couple $100, let's say, even at $200. And you're going, hey, there's something wrong. You just accept that? No. You go to your bank and say, hey, there's a problem here. And what does the bank do, Neil? They open up the computer and see where the problem is.
Yes.
Hello? I mean, it's very simple.
And this is all, we're all told that this is proprietary. You can't
Technology, proprietary.
It's proprietary. It's freaking, it's using SQL. It's like a little spreadsheet. It's like adding machine. It's the biggest bunch of crap I've ever heard of. There is no reason.
Neil, it's even worse than that. And you heard that. You heard that reporter there say something about the Democrats. The Democrats, you guys, I've got video of at least 10 minutes of video of every Democrat in this country saying, we've got to get rid of the machines, from Amy Klobuchar to Kamala Harris. Just watch the movie Kill Chain. You can just watch the movie Kill Chain if you want. But with what's going on now is just that when he said in there too, he said we're not the proprietary technology. Let me tell everybody, let's just say that they're protecting something proprietary. Well, number one, they're control all our elections. We paid for those machines, and when there's a mistake, there should be people that can open them up and check it out. But here's the thing, everybody, you know what you do get? Here's what you do get. Under the Freedom of Information Act, and some states call it the Sunshine Law, like Missouri, under that act, when you request these, you can request stuff that comes right out of the machines, the cast vote records and other things, okay? Now, in the state of Colorado, here's what they did here. They deleted those records in the spring of 21, called it the Trusted Bill. Now, everybody...
Bill, I love that.
Yeah, by federal law, you had to keep these records 22 months. And by Colorado law, it's 25 months. Now, let me tell you, so we have the right to all these cast vote records. When we went to call to the nation, when I sent out a call to the nation to get them for the 2020 election, only a third of the counties in the United States would give us their cast vote record because they didn't understand. Minnesota was the worst. We don't know what they are, but if we find out, you can't have them. They really made a thing like that. If
Hey,
we ever
Mike.
figure it out, you of course can't have them. So
Mike,
my
I got to
point.
say something real quick because my battery is going super low. Because I did this. I'm on the road. I'm getting
Oh,
my car
okay.
on. So I mean, I got to, like, it's probably going to shut down in a minute or two here.
Okay, all right, you guys. Anyway, I wanted to get on here. We need your help. My pillow needs your help. Get the special, the $49.98, the Giza Dream Sheets. Get as many as you want, you guys. You're gonna get a free My Pillow 2.0. We're doing this. My Pillow needs money. There's the Rev 7. You guys go to mypillow.com/lumberjack. If you want to help directly, you can go to My Pillow to the homepage. We've got no, I think you have it on there.
Right
Neil,
there,
click on
right
My
there.
Pillow Goes to Trial. Right on Neil's page there, everybody. So if you click on that, you guys are going to see videos I'm putting up and watch them, and you can donate. We need your help. You guys, this is the most important case to this country. I promised our president that about 3 weeks ago, I said, I promise you, your 4 years of the greatest things being done will not be in vain. Because he's worried too. We've got to get to paper ballots, everybody. They steal these midterms. I'm sorry. It was all just a great moment in history. Everything comes from the elections, and it's all come down to this. There isn't anything more important for trials that are more important for our elections than this one. Everyone else is settled so far. Oh yeah, we sell insurance company. We're not going to spend the money to fight this. We're not going to show what we have. These people, that's what lawfare is. It makes people, you want to end up like Mike Lindell and My Pillow? You better settle.
Yeah,
You better settle.
yeah.
You better settle.
That's their whole game. That's
That's
their whole
you
game,
guys.
man. It's all threats. And folks, look at this. Lone Wolf said we have 6 pillows, 3 towels, 4 bed sheets, and even the house shoes. Love them all. The best. Family comes over and asks, "Where'd you get that towel?" Blows their mind. I'm telling you, my favorite products, my 2 favorite products. I love that travel pillow, and you can get one for free. Okay. The Giza sheets, the towels, and now you've got me hooked on this Rev 7. Every time I go work out, I got to have a Rev 7, Mike. So I'm telling you, folks, there's so many ways to support, or just go directly and you can donate if you don't need anything. But these dog beds, there's so much stuff over there. You can shop early for Christmas, folks. $49.98 is the best deal that you'll ever see on the Giza sheets. Okay. It's any color, any size. They are the best sheets. Absolutely, bar none, hands down. You can never go back once you have them. I mean, they're just awesome. So,
and it would really help us, you guys. It's a win-win-win. You're getting the best deals, best price. We brought them back on sale. We've got that's our inventory we have, but we've got to turn this into cash so that My Pillow, we're bringing in just today, we brought in, I said, this is no time to trip over $1 to pick up a quarter. We're bringing in 2 more lawyers and an expert. It was all upwards of $100,000, but this is so important. We have to win. I didn't have the money. My Pillow didn't. So we need your help, everybody. Everybody get on board and get everything you can. And it's
I carry those travel pillows, Mike. I carry them into the Boundary Waters with me. I got a My Pillow. The first one I got was, I've had that pillow over 10 years, Mike. I don't have any other pillows.
10-year warranty, and you guys wash and dry. We've sold over 80 million My Pillows. Actually, it's like 83 or 84 million. Why, everybody? Because they work. They give you the best sleep in history. And by the way, we're running all of our bed stuff from Memorial Weekend. We're keeping that on sale too. We need to turn stuff into cash, into resources right now. It's going to go to the best place you could ever put them to help save our country. And you're getting the absolute best products ever made, and to help you. So and plus, and I want to thank your audience directly. You guys have been so supportive. If you bought all the products, people have asked me, how do I help? Go, My Pillow Goes to Jury Trial. Just click on that, and you can donate right there, right on the page here. So You know, and I hear that people ask me, how can I help? How can I help? I bought all your product. Well, buy them for the neighbors, buy them for everyone in your family. But here you can donate directly. We will get that money directly. It goes right to this trial and right to the resource I need. I've been sitting in Colorado for over a week. I'm going to be here. It's a 2-week trial at least. It starts Monday. You guys, we're going to be broadcasting every day from Lindell TV. You guys can watch that. Well, they're all going to be coming in. We hope we get some big media here, everybody. You know, so if you can, another thing I want to tell everybody, Neil, if you guys could go to any of the social media, I don't care what it is, and look up Mike Lindell or Real Mike Lindell. My pin post there. If you could share that out to get the word out for this trial, we've got to beat the suppression of the media. Neil, they're on to me when they attack me for 4 years. What do? I don't mind that. That's how I get the word out.
Yep. You know,
But they're
you've
on
always
to me.
done
It
that.
just hurt
You
me.
go on
It just-
Jimmy Kimball to get us insulted just to get the word out. I mean, yeah, it's something that you've
That's
always done.
exactly right. And that's what this guy is saying about the media's onto that. So it's up to all of you and all of us to share on all the social media platforms. I don't care if you have 10 people. Go to Mike Lindell or Mike Lindell, click on it, share. It'll be great. So
Well, there you go. I'll buy some products, support Mike and his mission for justice and our children's future. It's crucial. Folks, thanks for joining me. I know my battery's going to die. Somebody said get a cigarette adapter for your phone. I'm not on my phone. I'm on the computer, so I could bring stuff in. But folks, and I'll be keeping in touch with you, Mike. I mean, this trial's going on. We'll be
hey, I want everybody to know, I want to thank you, Neil. You guys realize his dedication to this country and to all of you. He's sitting out there with broken ribs. I mean, did you tell him about that? I mean, this is just amazing. It doesn't show on his face, but this just happened. He just texted me. I've had broken ribs. They're very painful. And Neil, I mean, your dedication to helping our country is just over the top. I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mike. No, I just thanks to everybody. I mean, we are at just a crucial point. Everybody goes like, well, Trump won, and then and we could have this little blip, or we can actually get our country back. So it's kind of like where this is at right now.
Right.
Not to oversell it. I'm just telling you.
You think evil's giving up everybody? They're not. Well, this is the start. We got to win, and for the future, for the future of our country and the world, for that matter.
There you go, folks. MyPillow.com/lumberjack or call 1-800-568-2865. Call the 800 number, folks. Best way to do it, 1-800-568-2865. Get some of this product, and you can just donate directly too. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next episode, folks. Peace out.
Thank you.